Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the brand new rules and abilities for the Bringers of Death factions in Age of Sigmar Warcry. You can find the printed versions of all of these rules available in the Briar and Bone box set. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. To start off with, first of all, we have the Death ability. Now, you can choose to either use this ability or your faction-specific ability if you want when playing a game. So that means if you are, say, the Soulblight Gravelords, you can choose to use the Soulblight Gravelords ability or the Death ability, though you only ever get one. The Death ability is Deathless Minions. Once per battle round, you count the first critical hit from a ranged attack that targets a friendly fighter with this battle trait that has the minion rune mark as a hit instead. Pretty cool at just allowing your sort of smaller fighters able to get up the table, get to where they need to onto objectives and start affecting the game before they get shot off. As Kurgan, True Blades are next, and they have the Worthy Draft. After an enemy fighter with a hero rune mark and or that has a wounds characteristic of 20 or greater has been taken down by melee attack action made by a friendly fighter with this battle trait, you can remove d6 damage points allocated to that friendly fighter. And this is a pretty good heal, as Kurgans generally do have quite a few wounds on most of their fighters, which is nice. And I do like that this isn't just going to apply to heroes, it can be, just larger fighters. So you're playing someone like the Stormcast or Gorge or Moorpack, you're generally going to be fighting fighters with this, and so every sort of kill is going to matter. It's definitely not going to be an easy one to complete, but certainly one I think that can help where the Azkogans do lack a bit of healing within their force, so giving them this is nice. Flesh Eater Courts are next, and they have the Form the Lance ability. You add one to the move characteristic of friendly fighters with this battle trait that were within 1 inch of 2 or more other friendly fighters with this battle trait at the start of the activation. You also add one to the strength characteristic of melee attack actions made by friendly fighters with this battle trait while within 1 inch of 2 or more other friendly fighters with this battle trait as well. So essentially while you're fighting with 3 fighters near each other, they are going to get, the bonuses here. So you're going to either get to move together at the start or you're going to get to have the extra strength, which can all be nice. Both solid little bonuses, +1 move, being able to combine that with something like a rush for a +2 move on a lot of your fighters, and you do have a fair bit of flyer in Flesh Eater Courts, can be a nice little way to go. Next is the Nighthaunt. They have Wave of Terror, where they add one to the strength characteristic of melee attack actions made by friendly fighters with this battle trait if they made a move action this activation. So somewhat similar to what the Flesh Eater Courts have, except they don't need friends nearby, they just have to move and then attack, getting +1 strength, which is something Nighthaunt generally lack. They've got a lot of strength 3 or 4 within their force, not a lot higher than that. So I think this is a nice sort of little buff. The obvious downside to this is it's going to mean that they are required to make that move and only going to get 1 lot of attacks off. The best use of this would obviously be combining it with a Rampage. Use that free move, get that, and then get 2 attacks in at +1 strength. And that's probably going to be the best way to use it. Next, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Ranks Unbroken by Descent is their ability, and if a friendly fighter with this battle trait uses an ability that requires the Ossiarch Bone Reapers rune mark and has a range, you add 1 inch to the range of that ability. This is, solid, nothing too fantastic, but a little bit of extra range on all your abilities, and of course, a lot of your Ossiarch Reaper abilities are going to have ranges to them, especially your hero abilities. So I feel this is just going to be a nice one to give that little bit extra range, which 1 inch doesn't sound like a lot, but in Warcry, that could be everything on that small board size. The Pguys are next, and they have Pyres of Victory. At the end of each battle round, each player whose warband has this battle trait can roll a dice for each friendly Pyre token on the battlefield. For each roll of a 3+, you add 1 wild dice to that player's saved wild dice. This is pretty cool because if you've played with the Pguys before, we do have some battle reports and some reviews on them on the channel. You know that the Pyre tokens are what you get when you take down enemy fighters, and particularly with special fighters using abilities, you can light these sort of Pyre tokens that do damage to enemies nearby them, but also now the potential to get some wild dice so your opponent can't just avoid them and sort of nullify their effects completely is a nice additional benefit to you. Royal Beast Flayers, our other Flesh Eater Courts warband. The Hound's Bay. After an enemy fighter has been taken down by a melee attack action made by a friendly fighter with this battle trait and the Beast rune mark, you pick another friendly fighter in your warband and that fighter gets a bonus move. So this means that when you're throwing your Awful Hounds forward, you're going to get, if they can take someone out, and they're pretty deadly, the Awful Hounds, they'll definitely be able to take out some fighters. You're going to get some bonus moves on some of the other fighters, which is something you do lack in the Royal Beast Flers. They're not like your regular sort of flesh-eater courts that have a lot of flying in their warband, so being able to get this and get, your actual Royal Flame Master and stuff like that into the fight that little bit better, I think is going to be an incredibly powerful ability. Zolblack Gravelords are next, and they have the Sanguine Glory ability. Each time a friendly fighter with this battle trait uses the Thirst for Blood ability, which is where they can heal, if the value of the ability is a 1 or 2, it increases to 3. So this is just going to allow you to get some extra sort of healing onto your fighters, and help just keep your vampires along even longer. And lastly, we have the brand new Tyrannic Cohort. Predatory Outriders is their ability, and I really do like this ability. I think it's a nice one, where before deployment you can pick a friendly battle group that's not in reserve, and fighters from that battle group can deploy within 6 inch of their deployment zone, but if they do so, must be deployed more than 6 inch from each enemy fighter. I really like this. This allows you to sort of maybe connect 2 groups depending on your deployment, pull a group out of harm's way if it's maybe outflanked or outnumbered, where it isn't, it's just going to get torn apart piecemeal before you can get it away. It's a really solid ability and can just start affecting the battle from turn 1. We hope that this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment them down below and we'll endeavour to get back to you. And while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe and join our Discord server as well, linked in the video's description, for all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry content.